Hello humans, this is Random Guy and welcome to the Random Channel. Today we're going to be reviewing another anime. This time we have Testament Sister New Devil. Well, its proper name is The Testament of Sister New Devil and the Japanese name is Shinmao no Testament. That's the one I generally remember, considering the Japanese name is much easier to remember compared to the English name, which is not the case really. I just have a habit of remembering the Japanese name, I guess. Whatever. This show I actually watched way back in the day, but recently a friend of mine watched this and he was going batshit crazy, and I was like, "Yeah, I remember watching that show, but it wasn't that good that he's going absolutely insane over it." So I was like, "You know what? Let's rewatch it." And but that was the best decision I've made in a while, and it was fucking amazing. The show was so fucking good. So you can already tell that there are going to be a lot more pros regarding the shows compared to the cons of the show. The show is just, the show is so fucking good. Let me just start already. The story of the show is basically that the Demon King. Hold on. The Demon King died, right? And her daughter is now has now inherited the power of the Demon King, and the next Demon King is trying to attain that power for himself, so he wants to capture the daughter of the Demon King. Now here comes our main character who is trying to protect the Demon King's daughter, and then this is just a continuous stream of events where more and more girls kept piling on to his plate, I guess, and he starts to go towards from a hero to a harem king sort of. And the story is pretty fucking good. I mean, this show, I like it so much because the story is good and the ecchi is good at the same time. Most shows fuck this up. This show does not. Now let's start with the pros. First of all, the main character actually looks good. Generally, whenever there's a harem show, right, the main character would be made so fucking bland that you would connect to it somehow. One author, I think the SAO creator or someone, said that the main character is made as generic as possible in these types of shows, so that the people who are watching can connect themselves and put themselves in the place of the main character, so they can feel like they are actually in control of a harem. That's the point of the show generally. So generally these shows have very generic looking people, just black eyes, black hair, a simple face, nothing, no scars, no specific features, nothing excess. Generally the personality is also extremely sidelined. There's nothing too insane going on with them. But in this one, the main character actually looks pretty good, and he has some scars on his body, which you will find out why he has them later. I'm not gonna talk about it, but the fucking scars on him look pretty fucking cool. His hair look pretty fucking cool. I think he has green eyes or something, as far as I can remember. Or does he have brown eyes? I don't remember. But he looks pretty cool, honestly. The fucking ecchi in this show, as I said, is insane. The ecchi is on some next fucking level. It's borderline hentai, right? The fucking shows ecchi goes up and beyond. Like the only shows which can compare to this show would have to be like the serious ecchi shows, the top tier ecchi shows, such as like Yosuga no Soro, Akisora, and shows that actually have sex in them, like proper fucking sex in those shows, even though they are actually technically speaking anime. So except for those shows that have like 10 in terms of ecchi, this show would be like a 9 in terms of ecchi. So this show is like all the way up there. There are not many competitors in terms of ecchi when it comes to this show. And the show is like a goddamn Viagra for me. Like literally, I cannot tell you how many times you get a boner when you're watching this show. Like every second episode you get a boner. Like normally, to be honest with you, I don't even get as many boners as this fucking show when I'm watching like a hentai even. This fucking show is just too good with everything. They make sure that you feel every ounce of the skin whenever the main character touches the girl anywhere. It's beautifully done. It is very fucking good. I fucking love it. So you gotta watch out for that shit. You gotta be ready for that because this show doesn't like hold everything back. They hold it just enough because orgasm denial fetish. So this show has that orgasm denial sort of aspect to it. So that fetish certainly comes into play. So they hold back just a little bit so as they can tease you, turn this into some kind of tease porn. But other than that, they don't hold back like kissing, groping, and all sorts of fuck shit that goes in this show. As I said, I would give this show, the ecchi part of the show would be a 10 if they actually had sex in the show, which most shows don't, but some shows do. So if this show had that, I would have certainly gone for and went ahead and said that, this show's ecchi would have hit 10. Otherwise, nope, not right now. It's the ecchi is at 9 at the moment. The main character is OP. That's certainly something I appreciate. There's a lot of shows where there's one thing, right? Here's the thing: when you put a character in a show, right? So if it's a show like Death Note, there's no real need for physical strength, right? There's absolutely no need for physical strength. The main character could be as weak as they can make him, and even then he would be bodying people because there's no need for physical strength in Death Note. You just have to be intelligent and clever with your moves. But in a show like let's say Re:Zero, right? When you're putting someone in a fucking fantasy land where everyone's using swords and magic, and you're just a normal person living your everyday normal life, and then you're suddenly supposed to fucking go up against these people that are so fucking powerful and just feel powerless. And in these shows, they usually they do this, and then that kind of pisses you off, kind of just a little bit. I mean, if there's some people who can't even watch that. Like a friend of mine, that sort of scenario where the main character is weak and remains weak, that sort of thing he just can't watch. Or like if the main character is weak and becomes average, that sort of things he just can't watch. And similar to me, I can watch it and I do certainly enjoy it. Even then, it just feels like certainly something is missing, sort of. That's always the thing with me. But in this one, the main character gains like over the top power in the early years of his life, which is going to be explained later. But he has to work and slowly, steadily, both work on it emotionally, physically, on different scales, so as to slowly and steadily increase his power and show his true form as to who he is. That's one of the things that I personally really like. Another thing is that the main character's father could have his own fucking anime, honestly. Like the main character's father is in himself, looks pretty good, and is OP as shit. He's like called the God of War or something. That's not a spoiler, by the way. They pretty much say that in like the earlier episodes, so nothing too special about it. But yeah, the main character's father is so fucking cool that he could have his own anime, and I wouldn't be mad at it because I would watch that. I mean, I wouldn't want to watch that considering I'm more focused on the main character, and I would love if they would make a season 3 of this. But yeah, the fucking show is fucking good. Other than that, we have the chicks in the show are amazing. They give you everything. Like they have red hair, a big tits chick. They have the calm, collected, blue haired with like middle like sort of body. They have the younger girls who for like younger bodies. They have like a complete goddamn MILF in the teacher, one of the teachers that the main character has, and she's my favorite, honestly. The teacher, she is just like, she wears anything, even the most casual clothes, and it just looks so fucking good on her. Like literally anything in that show that is related to her is just it's insane with like how good she looks. Whenever she comes on screen, it's like insta boner. Like I have not seen. It's rare for me to find chicks that look this fucking good. The only two chicks other than this, there are very few chicks who ever caught my eye like this in a show. The like chicks like from Data Life Kurumi caught my eye. Seiko from High School of the Dead, Albedo from Overlord, and Revi from Black Lagoon. There are very few chicks out there that just instantly like my eye goes towards them. I'm like, yeah. I haven't even watched the show. There's just like 3 episodes out of the 24 episodes that I have to go through, and I already like this chick. This is the main chick already for me, and I certainly appreciate the fact that they acknowledge that. They bring out like every single character. Then just go like, okay, we are introducing this hot chick, but we're not gonna do anything with her. This show, they don't fucking do that. If you see a hot chick, they're more than likely are going to show you something regarding her, even if it's slight. Other things, there's some nice action in the show, like the magic, swords, and various different sorts of fighting styles, dirty tricks, machines, and like magical beasts or whatever they use, and various other things. I certainly like the show because of the action is pretty fucking good. The main character is quite assertive when it comes to any sort of sexual situation. He generally doesn't back out. I'm not gonna say he never backs out in a sexual situation, which is one of the reasons why I say the Ecchi is at 9. Because he's kind of unrealistic the way he works. Like a normal man would not, back out in this form of in this way. But he certainly backs out. So it just feels like a little unnatural for him to do that when the girl is completely fine with it and he is completely fine with it. And certainly, for whatever emo bullshit reason that all anime protagonist has, he would back out. Very rarely though. He certainly goes in all the fucking time, from like kissing to fondling to way too fucking crazy shit that I'm not what to talk about. The shit gets too much, and he doesn't get flustered all that much. He does get embarrassed, but he doesn't get flustered all that much. And as I said, he doesn't pussy out all that much. He just rarely ever does that, but he certainly does that. That's what annoys me. But he generally doesn't do that. I guess they were trying to keep it, under 18, which is sad. Yeah, that's done. So okay, so yeah, that's pretty much all of the shows. The best points. The story is amazing. The plot is amazing. And the chicks are pretty good. The main character is pretty good. The side characters are pretty good. Everyone fucking has like a completely unique personality. You can remember them. There's even that I completely forgot to mention. There's actually a yaoi element to this as well. I mean, they never explored it, but they certainly introduced a trap in the show. And I would, if they are moving forward with it, I would love if they would, use the trap as well. Like in High School DxD, they introduced the trap and they kind of used them, but not really. But if they properly use him in this one, that would be much appreciated, honestly. That would be pretty fucking cool. So yeah, this show is on and on just good. The cons of the show are generally related to the main character. The main character is too kind. Many a times he's forgiving. I'm not saying he's always forgiving, but many a times he's too forgiving. Even he just doesn't get angry at things that normally would make a person angry, so it makes him a little absurd. I'm not saying that everyone's just an angry individual, but I'm just saying that it's so unnatural for him to never show all that much anger beyond a certain point. He only gets super angry when shit gets like out of hand. So that's kind of unnatural for me to see. The main character is too emotional about his past. Like the main character is connected to his past too much. So I'm not gonna say what event happened in his childhood. You can watch the show and see for yourself. But certainly something happened in his past that he just holds on to, which I don't see why all that much. Why is he so guilty over something that had nothing, he had no control over? But despite all that, he just, always it just feels like he's just punishing himself over and over because of this. Yeah, many of the times he just spaces out or makes bad decisions because of his past. It is certainly something that I don't appreciate. As I said, the trap was not used to its full extent. They could have used the trap much better, and I would have much appreciated that shit. That would be pretty fucking cool. And I would have liked that. So yeah, there's that show. 2 seasons. Unfortunately, multiple OVAs. I think there are 3 or 4 OVAs. So if they were to make a season 3, I would be like 100% up for watching that. Season 3 comes out, I will be watching every single episode as soon as it comes out. And you gotta go watch this show. This is a personal fucking recommendation for me. If you want some good ass show, this is the show for you. Good fighting, good chicks, good action in the other form. This show is perfect for that shit. The only problem is that I just said this show has orgasm denial in it, which is not done properly. So, orgasm denial is more about, you tease someone to the point they are almost orgasmic, and then you maintain them in that state for a little while. But at the end of the day, let them come. But if you just hold them in that fucking place for like all of eternity, then orgasm denial actually, instead of being a fetish, just ruins shit for you. And you might just end up having a bad orgasm, which is like a dry orgasm into the air. It's just going to be pathetic and disgusting at the same time, and it's not satisfactory at all. So this show could have easily gotten 10 if the show had sex. If they would have done orgasm denial properly, the show would have got 9.5. And that's why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 in this category: action, ecchi, demon, supernatural. That sort of category it lies in. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, which is rare for me to give something 9 out of 10. But this show is just too good, man. It's just so fucking good. I'm always looking forward to any more content. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any more manga. They certainly have, the light novels of the show. I don't know if they're finished or they're still coming out, but I'm not about to read light novels, and I don't think there's any manga that are coming out of the show that have been, translated from the light novels. So unfortunate, even though I really want to, see more of the show, I just can't until they make more manga of it. I mean, if there is manga proper, like even from the, ahead of season 2, if there's manga, you could always just leave the link to that in the description. I would love to read that. And thank you so much for watching. There's a link in the description to my Twitter. Go follow me there. There's also my Dtube account where I play hentai games. You can go check that shit out. And bye bye.